Take a look at the price board the next time you get gas. Then check the next station down the road. Whether the sign says Reliance, Shell, or Indian Oil, the numbers are almost always identical. We see this across every sector. Different logos, same prices. We're taught to call this a free market, but the lack of variation suggests something else. You aren't looking at a competitive landscape, you are looking at a system. In 2016, Reliance Jio entered the Indian telecom market by providing high-speed data and voice calls at a cost of zero. For months, millions of people enjoyed the benefits of a billionaire seemingly giving away the internet. In reality, Jio was using its massive capital to run a scorched earth campaign. By providing services for free, they ensured that every rival company's balance sheet would eventually turn red. This strategy of using deep pockets to starve out the market was perfected 150 years ago by one man, John D. Rockefeller. Rockefeller controlled 2% of the entire American economy at his peak, a level of wealth that dwarfs today's tech giants. He operated on a religious conviction that competition was a waste of resources. To him, the struggle between rival businesses was a sin that led to inefficiency. He believed the only logical end for any industry was total organization under a single absolute authority. This philosophy created a machine designed to extract wealth at every point of human interaction. Today, you live inside that machine, and your daily choices are the data points it uses to keep the gears turning. The 1859 Pennsylvania oil rush was built on pure luck. Thousands of men dug wells in a frantic gamble, striking liquid gold one day and facing total ruin the next. The industry was disorganized, risky, and prone to violent boom and bust cycles. A young Rockefeller realized that the real money wasn't in the dirt, it was in the choke point. He ignored the drilling and focused entirely on refining the crude into kerosene. No matter who pulled the oil out of the ground, they had to go through a refinery to make it usable. By capturing the middle of the process, he made himself unavoidable. He then began a process called vertical integration. He stopped paying third parties for barrels and built his own factories, cutting costs by 40%. He bought his own rail cars to move the oil and his own warehouses to store it. He systematically removed every middleman who took a cut of the profit. This is the same strategy Dhirubhai Ambani used to scale Reliance. He started with textiles, then moved backward into the petrochemicals needed to make the thread. To secure those chemicals, he built the refineries, and to feed the refineries, he began his own oil exploration. Owning every step of the supply chain allows a company to capture the profit at every level. It creates a cost structure so lean that any competitor relying on outside vendors is priced out of existence before the fight even begins. In 1872, Rockefeller used this cost advantage to launch the Cleveland Massacre. He dropped the price of his oil so low that his competitors lost money on every sale. He gave them a choice: sell their refineries to him at a discount or face bankruptcy. In just 90 days, 25 of the 26 refineries in Cleveland surrendered to him. We saw the 21st century version of this when Jio entered the market with a price tag of zero. By absorbing massive losses in the short term, Reliance was able to reshape the entire landscape of Indian telecommunications. The fallout was immediate. Aircel and Reliance Communications collapsed into bankruptcy, and legacy brands like Docomo and Telenor were swallowed up by rivals, and giants like Vodafone and Idea had to merge just to stay afloat. Within 4 years, a market that once supported over 10 operators was compressed into just 3. This is the goal of predatory pricing: to clear the field until only a few dominant players remain. These maneuvers are often framed as a win for the consumer because of the low initial prices. In reality, the temporary loss is simply the capital cost of purchasing a permanent dominant position in the market. By the late 1800s, Rockefeller controlled 90% of the market, and the government began passing laws to dismantle monopolies. To stay ahead of the regulators, his lawyers created the trust, a legal structure where dozens of companies were technically independent but were secretly controlled by a single board of trustees. When the Supreme Court finally ordered Standard Oil to be split into 34 separate companies in 1911, the plan backfired. Rockefeller still owned shares in all 34 pieces. As these individual companies grew, his personal net worth doubled. The attempt to break his power actually made him the wealthiest man on the planet. Over the following century, those 34 pieces began to merge back together. Today, the fragments of the original monopoly have consolidated into the giants we know as ExxonMobil, Chevron, and BP. Modern tech giants use a variation of this structure. Alphabet exists to hold Google and YouTube. Meta holds Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. They are umbrellas designed to manage multiple dominant entities while keeping them legally distinct. This legal architecture allows a single entity to dominate an entire sector of human life while maintaining the appearance of a fragmented, competitive market. By the turn of the century, investigative journalists like Ida Tarbell had exposed Rockefeller's secret deals and ruthless tactics. He was the most hated man in America, a symbol of corporate greed that the public was desperate to see restrained. He responded by transferring $250 million into the Rockefeller Foundation. This move served two purposes. It shielded a massive portion of his fortune from new inheritance taxes, and it began the process of rebranding a robber baron as a benevolent leader of society. The foundation's grants transformed medical education, prioritizing schools that focused on synthetic, chemical-based treatments. Because Standard Oil's own chemical divisions produced the petroleum-based precursors for these new drugs, Rockefeller's charity effectively created a massive global market for his own industrial byproducts. This model of philanthrocapitalism is now the standard for the modern billionaire class. Foundations today exert massive influence over global health policy, educational standards, and government regulations. Large-scale giving often functions as a strategic shield. It allows the world's most powerful entities to influence the very regulators and public opinions that are supposed to keep their power in check. Every year, a hidden portion of your income is siphoned off by these consolidated structures. Whether it's interest on bank loans, the cost of your data plan, or the markup on your prescriptions, you are paying a monopoly tax to a handful of massive holding companies. Boycotting this system is nearly impossible. If you stop using Google, you are walking away from 92% of the world's search results. If you switch telecom providers, you are often just moving from one member of a consolidated cartel to another. The leaders of today's digital and industrial empires are simply iterating on the strategies first put into practice in the 1870s. The technology changes, but the playbook remains the same. Dhirubhai Ambani recognized that if the market is rigged towards consolidation, the only way to win is to master the rules of the game. He didn't fight the trend, he became its most successful practitioner in India. You are navigating an economic landscape that was designed over a century ago to favor the few. You may not be able to dismantle the machine, but by seeing the gears, you can stop being the one it grinds down. Understanding the playbook is the only way to move from being the person extracted from to the person who knows how the world actually works.